Hello, beautiful beings of love and light. Today I am feeling really inspired because a client of mine expressed a lot of tension in the neck, in the shoulder blades, in the back, in the trapezius, down the rhomboids, into the low back. And the specifics of what I do is help you to transmute the energetics of pain that you're feeling in specific parts of the body into recognizing the emotion that you are feeling and then putting together, following your intuition, what that means for you, what that pain or that discomfort is asking you to do to process it so that you can live free from that discomfort, live more aligned. All we ever need to do is acknowledge the pain that we're feeling, address it by loving it, giving it more attention and care, to let it have space so that we can feel what that actually feels like. The beauty of having these platforms show you more of what I do is that in a coaching conversation, we wouldn't necessarily go through a physical somatic practice because it's more me asking you questions so that you can arrive at your own solutions, your own resources for resolving whatever it is that's your focus that day. So I want to offer this as an addition to coaching sessions with me, or maybe you will in the future, by teaching you tools. Coaching is not teaching. Coaching is asking you what you want to do, mirroring back what you're saying, and then identifying what you can do in your vast tool set to be able to address that issue. So today we're going to open up the neck, the shoulders, and the mid and lower back as well with some yoga asana, some postures, so that you can maybe add this to your practice at whatever consistency is best or works for you if it feels good. So for your neck, very basic neck motions. So lowering your chin and letting your head fall down really opens up the back of the neck, and you can take your hands and place your thumbs on these suboccipital bones. You have little indentations in the back of your skull. Really apply as much pressure as feels good for you. This is like a massage, an extension of the cervical spine or the neck vertebrae. You're more pulling up than you are pulling your head down, so that you don't apply too much pressure to the back of those tiny vertebrae. Your cervical vertebrae are the smallest in your spine. So you're really just massaging into that base, and it feels awesome. So try it out, just massaging into that space. And while you're at it, you can also use your fingertips to massage any part of the top of the skull that feels really good. A lot of times the back side of the ear, that crest or that curve, feels really nice right along the hairline. So again, you can apply as much pressure as is necessary for you, for today. Try squeezing or pressing really firmly, and then coming off a little bit if it's too much, and just applying some gentle pressure. It's completely up to you. Then you can take the hands around to the front and put the fingers underneath of your chin and literally lift your head back up to center. Just let it rest and see how that feels to the back of the neck. Next, take your right ear to your right shoulder and just let gravity let the head come down. Then you can take that same right arm up and around the head and place your fingertips lightly at the base of the back of your ear, kind of like off to the side of where that position was, the suboccipital, and just gently apply some upward pressure. So you're kind of reaching on a diagonal, not pressing your head down towards the mat, but just lifting up a little bit, gentle pressure. So you're elongating that whole side of the neck that is opening. You're going to breathe here. With all of this, you're going to envision sending your breath to that area of the most strain. And we're just going to take a couple of breaths here. Doing the static motion or not moving, just to feel where we have some tension, and be aware of anything that comes in front of your eyes or in your mind space, your third eye between your eyebrows, if your eyes are closed. Just pay attention to what's present there for you, what's coming up. If you're stretching as I am, your right ear closer to your right shoulder, then the left side of your neck is opening up. So there's some focus on the feminine energy, because our physical body is inversely proportional to our masculine and feminine. So the feminine sits on the right. The left side of the body opening might activate something in your mother line. And then when you're ready, place that hand, take it off of the ear, gently keep your head as it is. Place your hand underneath of the right side of your forehead, and as you inhale, gently bring the head back to center. Just let it rest here for a moment, right? It's like flexing a credit card back and forth a bunch of times. We don't want to do that. We don't want to make it weakened. We just want to come back to center. Let all of those vertebrae of the neck stack back up in line together before we move to the other side, right? We're not doing that break a credit card motion. We're coming back to center, letting everything resettle, the molecules and the cells. And then we'll really gently, just let gravity do the work, let your left ear fall to the left shoulder. Then on your inhale, reach that left arm up and just gently place the fingertips on the back crest of the ear. So that kind of hairline space, or the space where you don't have any hair. There's no place where I don't have any hair, but the back of the ear is one of them. And then you're pulling up again on this diagonal line. You're drawing all of the energy up and away from the shoulder, not pressing down towards the mat, but instead on a diagonal. So it's kind of like you're lifting the base of the skull up on this diagonal plane. And then you can allow gravity to gently let your elbow on that left arm to come down slightly. Again, applying only as much pressure as feels right. We're not trying to force the head all the way over. We're not trying to push so we can have maximum range of motion in the neck. We're just feeling into what we need right now. And so as you inhale, send the breath from the belly, from the chest into that side of the neck. And now the right side of the neck is open if you're following the reverse mirror image of me. And the right side of the body inversely correlates to the left brain hemisphere, so the masculine energy. So pay attention to anything that might appear before your eyes, any sensations that come up in your heart, in your physical body, elsewhere, or in the neck area. And just ask that sensation, what are you trying to show me? What is this related to? Right? We're just asking over and over again, being guided by all of our ancestors, all of our guides, all of our angels, gods, goddesses, whatever your higher power or powers are. Ask and dive into that a bit and be present for what shows up. Even if it's scary, even if you have no idea what it means, just let it come up and acknowledge it. And then just like we did on the other side, on your inhale, lift that arm up off of your skull and rest the arm down. And then you can place the hand underneath the left side of your forehead or the side of the cheekbone and wait for your inhale to then lift your head back to center. Gently, slowly, mindfully, and then release the hand and just let your neck resettle. We very rarely take time to just recalibrate, resettle, recenter ourselves. So we're often in this battle between, the credit card bending in our lives as well. We're pulled one way, we're pulled another way. It's really beneficial for us, a piece of my tea there, to sit in the middle, in that steady state, that recalibration, that coming back to your center, and just see how your neck feels now. And before you start to go into the next posture, we're going to just roll the neck around. Just acknowledge what became available to me, what's in my awareness now that wasn't before. What did I feel? What did I sense? What did I see? It's always great to have a journal with you. Just jot down a couple notes. What were the things that this brought up for me? What's there? What is present? Okay, moving on. Another great neck practice to do is neck rolls. This might seem really basic for you, but please don't discount how much we don't do the basic things. We're often very extreme, especially my Pitta people. Pitta dosha, fire and water. You're burning up all of your water element. So we don't really take time to do this. So if it seems silly or if it seems too, simplistic or basic for you, please just try it. Try to just be with yourself and take, the 5 minutes out of your day to really just stretch your neck and recognize what it brings to you. What does it add to my life? And if it's nothing, fine, you never have to do it again. But really give it that time to just be with all the sensations and feelings and thoughts that come up when you just do a simple act like stretching your neck. So now we're going to move into rolling the neck around, big circles, and you can also add your breath. So it's like your ear comes down to your shoulder, your chin to your chest, your opposite ear to your opposite shoulder, the back of your head towards your spine. Ear to shoulder, chin to chest, ear to shoulder, head to back. And then as you're doing the downward stuff, exhale. And move with your breath. So you might slow down the movement a little bit. And then as you start to come up, inhale. Head comes back. Mouth is open. Maybe even stick your tongue out. As you start to come down, exhale. As you start to come up, inhale. Then we're going to reverse the direction. So when your exhale starts, no rush. Don't have to do it at the same time as me. We're all different. Ear to shoulder, chin to chest, exhale. As you begin to inhale, opposite ear to shoulder, head to back. When you exhale, opposite ear to shoulder, chin to chest. Wait for your inhale to lift that head. And know that there's space between the chin to chest and the ear to shoulder. We don't just instantly go there. There's time, there's space in between. Head to back. When your exhale starts, last one. Ear to shoulder, chin to chest. You don't have to move at this pace. Inhale, head to back. And then you can place your fingertips on the back of your head. Interlace your fingers, actually, and let your head rest in your palms and see how much you can let your head fall back. And then on your exhale again, not pushing the head, just gently rounding the upper spine and bringing the chin to chest, your elbows forward. All the way out goes the breath. As you begin to inhale, the belly fills up. It lifts your belly, your chest, your heart, your throat, the top of your head, your third eye. Let your elbows come back. Big inhale, open your mouth. When you begin to exhale, arch that spine. So begin to round it. Begin to tuck your chin. Gentle hand pressure on the head. The elbows are coming forward. How far are you coming forward? Is it too much? Be gentle. When your inhale starts, let the belly fill up first. The ribs, the chest, the throat, the elbows come back. The head lifts up even more. Maybe your fingers separate a little bit. They don't have to stay locked into that same position. Last rounding forward in your own pace, following your exhale breath. Breath comes down from your belly back first, then your ribs down, your chest sinks, your shoulders and head fall. When your inhale begins, your belly starts to expand, your ribs lift, your chest lifts, your elbows come back, your head falls back, chin is high, mouth is open. And then just release the arms down and again come back to center and just stay here. recalibration. Find that center point. Relaxation. Allow the body to be in stillness, in ease. Ensure that your exhale is coming fully out, that you're not just exhaling and leaving the breath hanging, but instead come to the full bottom of that exhale. So take an inhale to prepare through the nose. Come to the top of your inhale and don't hold it there. Just come to the top and then exhale fully. You can hum and still breathe through your nose, but come to the very bottom of the exhale, like no more breath is left. Complete it. Inhale through the nose. Come to the top. When you're there, begin the exhale. Remember, it comes out of the belly first, then the ribs, the chest, the throat. Let it come to the bottom until you have no more breath to push out. And then inhale gently, right? Not gasping, but a slow inhale. Or not a slow, just a conscious, a mindful one. It's just not rapid fire. Last exhale out, mouth closed, humming. And some simple cat-cows while seated. Open your arms up, head back, stick your tongue out. Exhale, round the arms like you're grabbing the entire universe and drawing it forward. The back is rounded. The hands can come pretty low. Feel into the shoulders, what feels good for them. Use your inhale, your big belly breath to reach your arms up and back. Let your mouth open, it's okay. Exhale again, kind of like you're diving forward. Round the spine. The chest and the ribs come back. Last one. When you begin to inhale, reach the arms up and back. When you start to exhale, round the spine, chin comes down gently, arms come forward. One more time to reach the arms up. Inhale and just place them down. Then we're going to shift onto our knees, coming into tabletop position, flat spine. Now we're going to take that right arm and reach it up, if it's comfortable for you. And then exhale, thread the needle. The right arm comes underneath of the left. I'll move my shirt so you can see. You're resting your head on the mat. You're resting the back of your right arm down. You're opening your palm to face up. Here, you're really stretching the back of your shoulder blade. So how you can play with this for yourself is to shift your hips down, to shift your hips up, to see what part of your arm really needs that extra stretch. Where does it feel like, yeah, that's the spot. That feels like that juiciness that I really need right now. And then just stay there for a few breaths. If it helps to support the stretch you're needing in the back of your shoulder, then you can lift this left arm up. But it might not be necessary. It might actually be too intense. So just play with it, see what works for you. You can bend that elbow and reach the left fingertips around to the outer right hip and see what that does for you. A lot of times that really stretches the inner deltoid, the front delt of the left arm, as you're stretching the back and the shoulder blade of the right arm. So it might feel really good for you. It might be unnecessary and too confusing, too much at one time. So then just bring that hand back down. Take a big breath into your belly and visualize that breath extending from the belly back to the shoulder blade. And then exhale, draw your belly back. It's easy to do this crunch when your thighs are this close to your ribs. So really emphasize the exhale. You can even come to that hum. Yeah, inhale. Exhale. What also might be true for you is you might like lowering this left arm a little bit more as opposed to opening it. It might bring a little bit more pressure to the outside of the deltoid, the front outside of it. So play with that and see if that feels really good for you. And then how to come out of this is to press back into the mat or the floor, the ground, and wait for your inhale. All the pressure in this left hand. Inhale back up to tabletop. Then we'll do the other side. So inhale the left arm up. This is not necessary, but it might feel nice, kind of like you just had that arm back a bit, so we're just opening it up, and then you slide it down, kind of like that cat-cow motion we did while we were seated. So reaching the left arm underneath of the right this time, turning your head to the opposite side. Right, this right arm now can be fingertips down, or it can be lifted up, or the elbow can bend into the bind, but it's not necessary. What's more important here is that you feel into what the left shoulder is wanting to do here. What does the left shoulder need? So you might want to shift your hips back a little bit. You might want to shift them forward and play around with the pressure on your left shoulder blade. It might be more tense than the right side. Just see what you are needing and give yourself that thing, right? Whether it's lowering the right shoulder down to bring more pressure to the outer left shoulder, deltoid, or lifting that right arm up and maybe gently bending the elbow and binding, reaching for your outer left hip, just to rest the arm. This also might be too intense for you, so if it is, really gently unbind the right arm and then replace the fingertips down and either send the hips back just to shift weight off of the shoulder, or shift forward to bring more of the weight into your head or the top of your outer arm. 3 full breaths here, wherever you feel is the best position for you to really dig into that back shoulder blade. Full exhales. Big inhale through the nose into the belly. Visualize the breath expanding into whatever places are tight in the back. Exhale through the nose. Hum. Every last drop of breath out. Exhales are really important for regulating our central nervous system. They calm and soothe us. So really have intention behind your exhale. One last breath. Again, if your arm is bound, mindfully release it. We're not rushing anything. Replace the hand on the ground or the mat and use your inhale timing to lift yourself back up to center. That recalibration. Remember, we don't need to move fast or wiggle around a whole lot unless that feels really good. Then we're going to bring the shins to cross underneath of us, so coming to a cross-legged position, and then sitting back. So this is one more final posture that we can do to really open up the back of the neck, the back of the shoulders. And there's variations that you can take, so you don't have to go the full way. We're coming into halasana or plow pose. I just want to make it, emphasize it, that you do not have to have, if you're already familiar, you don't have to have your toes touching the ground behind you. There are different variations you can take depending on how much pressure you need right now to really open up that back body. So we just opened the shoulder blades with thread the needle. Now we're going to shift down a bit on the mat and come to lying on your back gently. So the first motion is pressing through the heels. The feet are parallel to the hips and in line with them. You're going to press through the heels. Use your inhale to lift your hips up. So you're going to tuck your pelvis a little bit, lift the hips up, let the belly get full. And then exhale, you can lower down, but let the lowering down be the back of the shoulders, the middle ribs, the lower ribs, and then try to get the low back to touch, that space that's often really curvy before the hips come down. Requires a big crunch of the abdomen. Again, inhale, tuck the pelvis forward, pubic bone lifts up, belly fills. Maybe you can come up onto your shoulders this time and maybe interlace the fingers behind your back, rocking from side to side to bring your shoulders a little bit underneath of you. Then when you exhale, release the fingers and slowly lower down. First, the shoulders come forward a little bit so you can feel the shoulder blades on the mat. Then the upper back. Then the middle ribs, right? You're exhaling here. Then see if you can touch the low back, that curve, get it down. You really got to crunch the ribs down and the abdomen forward so that the hips can be the last thing to come down. Whew, glutes should be a little bit tired too. Next inhale, one last one. Inhale, pubic bone forward, abdomen back, ribs down. Expand the belly up with the inhale breath. Right away, interlace your fingers the opposite way. So see if you can have your opposite pointer finger on top. This is bringing some stretch across the chest, the front of the heart, and also the back of the throat, right? Your cervical spine is really flat on the mat behind you. As you exhale, release the arms. Slowly bring the shoulders forward a little bit. So it's like your shoulder blades are more pronounced on the back of the mat. Then lower down the upper spine, the mid spine. So you can touch the middle ribs down. Oh, you really got to crunch. Try to get that space between the bottom rib and the hips to touch the mat before you let the hips come down. Nice work. Next, we're going to inhale and lift the legs up. So it's kind of like a happy baby prep, but you're stretching the legs out. They might be really tight. You might have super tight hamstrings. You may not have done any downward dogs yet today. It's okay. You can massage the backs of your legs. Try to get a nice little stretch in the back of them. And then we're going to rock. So we're going to rock the legs forward and back really gently. If this is in any way applying too much pressure to your spine, then don't do it. Right? We're going to rock back as we exhale and kind of press through the bottoms of the feet as if we're trying to press through the ceiling. You can press down on your elbows too. When you can get your hips high enough, you're going to catch them in your hands. So bring your elbows and your upper arms down. Catch your low back, so that really bony part that's kind of at the middle, the narrowest space of your waist. Right? Hold your hips here. Hold yourself up. You're not trying to keep your legs lifted without your hands supporting you. Your hands are a big support here. So from here, we're already in like a half shoulder stand. You can bend your knees down towards your ears. This is called intense pose. Here, you can kind of draw your shoulders forward, just like we did when we were coming down from bridge pose. And kind of touch the center of your spine on the back of the mat. Feel into the back of your neck. Keep your head steady. And the back of the shoulders.
The way that we intensify this is we can keep lifting the hips up by walking the hands towards the upper back, so away from the buttocks, down towards the shoulders. And then we can lightly and gently extend the legs a bit behind us. So this is applying a whole lot of pressure on the neck. So do not move your head, just keep it steady. And it's also applying a lot of pressure to the upper shoulders, the shoulder blades, bringing a lot of your prana to this middle point and also to the throat. So the back of the neck is straight and extended so that the prana can come and accumulate in the throat. And then when we come out of this pose, it can kind of feel full and releasing. You might want to talk a lot after this posture. You would think that I did it already beforehand. So we're just breathing here. You do not have to straighten your legs totally. Your toes do not have to touch the ground behind you. Notice mine. They are not touching. They're hovering. It does not matter. What matters here is that you're doing what feels right for your spine and your upper back. All of your lower body weight is on your shoulders now, so it's kind of like a self-massage. It can be really nice. Take a few breaths here. We've been here for a while already, so I'm not going to take you through a few breaths, but you're always inhaling into your belly and you're exhaling out from your belly. Full exhales. Then you're going to really gently walk your hands back towards your buttocks. You're not going to release your hips. You're going to keep holding them the whole time, supporting them, cradling them. Bend your knees until your hips come down softly, gently. Then we're going to come into a nice, gentle, happy baby. So your knees come out to the sides a little bit. Your hands come down to your ankles. And then if it's available to you, right, if the place that it's most comfortable for you to grab on is the ankle space, or even lower, like, or higher up the leg, like the shin, do that. You can extend one leg at a time. Keep your feet flexed so you're really intentionally like walking on the sky, right? Maybe out to the side. Maybe the toes are more parallel and the knees are in a little bit more and you're walking forwards. Only if it's available to you, you can kind of grab the pinky toe edge of the foot, right? And then maybe you can't extend the leg that far. But what's nice about this version of Happy Baby is that you're also kind of pulling on the back of the arm. So you can let the leg, the strongest or stronger muscle in the body, extend, and it can kind of bring the arm with it. So you're not having to do so much work with the arms. It's like training the body to trust itself. The legs are like, hey, I got this. I got this. Just hold on to me and I'll take you for a little ride. So we're just stretching, straightening, and bending the knees as we lengthen and retract the legs. And this doesn't have to be at the pace that I am moving in, by the way. It can be at your own pace if you want to do like an exhale and extend, and an inhale back to center, or the opposite. An inhale and extend the leg, and exhale and come back to center. You're coming back to this like butterfly or goddess pose in the middle. I kind of like that. Inhale and extend, exhale, come back to center. And then finally, grab onto the big toes and extend your legs any amount forward. Kind of let your arms hang, let your shoulders relax. If your legs don't go straight, it's fine. Just extend them as much as is possible for you to not harm yourself and to not round your spine, right? The purpose is your whole back is flat on the mat, and you're just extending your legs to kind of give your arms some more room to dangle, and of course stretching into the back of the hamstrings. Just adding a little bit of legs here. So then bring your soles of your feet together into a goddess pose. Lower the legs down, knees are out to the sides. Let your arms come out to the sides, or in a big T shape, or even up above your head can feel really nice. We'll just take 3 full rounds of breath here in this goddess pose, Shavasana, opening the inner thighs, letting the abdomen relax, allowing the arms to settle in and the head to feel fully supported and grounded. Full inhales into the belly. Complete exhales out of the belly. Find your bottom, right? The bottom of your exhale. Last round of breath, wherever you are, take 3. And then you can take whichever knee or leg in whichever hand feels good and cross it over the body and just come into the fetal position, Parsva. You can use any part of your arms or your hands to support your head. Just curled up here, feeling into the back body, asking yourself, ask yourself, what am I aware of now? What was present for me as I stretched through the back, the upper back, the shoulder blades, the back of the ribs? What do I now know that I didn't before I did these? And how do I feel? If you just feel good, great. You know, it doesn't have to be some deep, profound meaning. It can just be, that feels good. I feel better. Great. It can also be, that brought up a lot of shit and I feel really angry right now and I don't want to go there anymore. Fine. You don't have to. You always have choice. Just acknowledge what you learned and what action you might take now going forward. Honor yourself. Congratulate yourself. Be proud of yourself for just being here and doing the thing. And then really gently bring your hands down and use them and your inhale breath to support yourself back up to a comfortable seated position. Make your spine nice and long, sit up tall, feel into your back. What shifted for you? What is still the same? Feel into your neck. How did that help me? What's present now? Inhale, reach your arms out to the sides, taking all of that extra love and energy and attention that is available for you at all times in this vast and wonderful infinite universe. And then exhale and curl forward one last time, wrapping your arms around yourself and holding yourself precious, tender, magnificent, radiant, amazing. Very gently release your arms, lift your head slightly, bring your hands to your heart center, and bow your head, bringing your thumbs perhaps to your third eye. Give a little gentle massage with your fingernail beds. In honor of all that you feel in your physical body, all of the sensations. In honor of all of the emotions that arise from those physical sensations when we give them time to process. In honor of all of the thoughts that you think that are benefiting you and progressing you, enabling your growth and moving you forward along your unique path. And in honor of the spirit that lives within you always, that is infinitely supported, connected, guided, loved. All parts of you are infinite, are supported, are guided, are loved. We all want what's best for you. What is good for one is good for all, and we are all one.
Gently lower your hands to your lap, and when you are ready, open your eyes and come back to the space. Thank you so much for doing this practice with me today. I hope it enhances your toolkit for loving yourself when you experience tight neck, tight back and shoulders. And I hope it gives you the space and the time to witness, to observe the emotions that come up, the experiences that are there in your memory, and helps you to process them. Nothing processes without us giving it time and space. That is this journey. That is a spiritual practice. Just being with what is present. If you would like further support on your journey, if you would like to be coached, which is much different than being taught, it is me asking you powerful questions for you to be able to arrive at your truth. What you truly know is alignment for you. Then please reach out to me. Send me an email. I am currently offering 50% off first sessions. Those are $60 for a session. They will continue at full price after the first one. But hey, it's a way for you to just get a taste of what is available. And there are infinite resources available to you. You are a whole and complete being, infinitely resourceful and wonderful, and you have a unique message to share with this beautiful planet. I honor you, I love you, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks so much for being here. Mwah. Love you, beauties. Oh, and like and subscribe to my channel if you like it. If not, you don't have to. Bye.